very passionate about the idea that any day, any time is the perfect time, the best time to make a change in your life. The banner of my YouTube channel is "Today's a great day to change your life," because it is. Today is always the best day to change your life. I feel like I'm always telling myself to wait until Monday or the next month or New Year's or whatever, but what if today's the day? How about that? Happy New Year, by the way, because whatever day you're watching this, it can be New Year's. Hello and welcome to the vlog. I just wanted to chat with you guys about how I've been feeling because honestly, it has not been a great start to the year for me personally. And of course, in this big, huge world we live in, I know I'm not the only one who's feeling that way. And it's definitely made worse by the fact that every time I open social media, I'm scrolling through all of this New Year's content of people checking off everything on their to-do list, building all these healthy habits, and everything is like so perfect and gorgeous and stunning. And then I look at myself and I have not set a single goal. I've tried probably 5 or 10 times in the last month. I'm not kidding you. And every time I open up my reflection to think about 2025, I just completely freeze. I did not hit a single goal that I set for myself in 2025. And that is like super embarrassing and awkward to say. So yeah, I sit down to do that reflection and I look back on my 2025 and I try to find things that went well or that I'm proud of. And that list feels very short. Not me getting emotional talking about annual planning. Jesus Christ. At some point I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just skip the reflection and go right into the goals, okay? 2025 is giving bad energy. We could just move on. So then I tried sitting down to just write some goals. I realized I was afraid that I would once again set goals that were important to me and meaningful to me, and I would fall short. I feel like every time I have failed in the past couple of years, the fear of failing again just gets bigger and bigger. I don't know how to fix this, but I do know that I want to try. I want to feel better. I want to get excited about the new year. I used to love the new year. So long story short, that's what we're doing in today's vlog. I'm going to try and come up with some routine, some process to get excited about the new year, set some, I don't even know if goals is the right word, but like intentions, some things to focus on. Maybe I need a Pinterest session. Maybe I need a coffee. Maybe I need to clean my house. I don't really know. I don't have the answer yet, but I would love to have you join me and we can see if we find it along the way. The first step of my process is that my phone is bricked. Basically, it just blocks all of my social media apps. Step 2 is I'm gonna get a playlist going. I'm honestly not in a great mood right now, but I know I will feel better listening to some good music. At first, I'm like, this is so stupid. Why am I even doing this? And then within a couple songs, I already feel better. I didn't catch it on camera, but when I was, is brewing the right word? Pulling my espresso shot, it sprayed everywhere. I'm also fully sweating from the vulnerability hangover of everything that we just chatted about, just in case anyone was wondering. You know, that's a little more sweetened condensed milk than I normally put in here, but I deserve it, so. Ow, my hands. Okay, great, we have a coffee. I'm sitting on the couch because I was gonna sit at my dining table like an adult, but honestly, I have always loved and will always love sitting on the couch and working. I've spent the last like 10 minutes or so making my playlist, okay? Oh my God, my playlist is public. No. Okay, glad that's fixed. The thrill of a private playlist that no other human being will ever see or hear is unmatched, okay? So this is gonna be my 2026 vibes. I have a mix of like throwback songs from when I was in high school and college. I've got music that objectively should only be on a workout playlist and shouldn't be listened to during a leisurely environment, and yet I'm gonna put them on there, so love that. Okay, let's chat about what my thinking is for this Pinterest session. The first thing is I just wanna get some good energy going. I want to pin some fun stuff and not worry about it too much. It's just whatever is speaking to me. I'm hoping that as I'm doing this, I'll start to feel more like excited about setting goals again, but here are the rules in terms of these goals. Absolute bare minimum, okay? I need to be excited about them and interested in them. I think there's pressure to always find something work related, like some kind of target or promotion or raise. I am going to try and steer clear of that completely because I think I just need to feel excited and invigorated about my work again, and setting these targets that I continually fall short of is taking away the spark and the joy from it. The next rule I'm setting for myself is that these should be no pressure. If I fail at these goals, it should not be devastating and like crushing. The last thing is something that I am always talking about in my videos and never actually doing. I need to lower the bar and choose goals that I know I can achieve, and I need to prove to myself that I can. If I want to break out of these failure cycles, I think an important part of it is setting myself up for success. I'm gonna break all of my rules for goal setting and New Year's and planning and setting good targets and all that, because at the end of the day, these rules are not real. It doesn't need to be that serious, okay? So let's do it. It's been like an hour. I have some thoughts and updates, but first I'm gonna have a snack. Liquid Death sparkling water and some of these bad boys. Okay, let's debrief the Pinterest board situation, and I'm gonna share a few of my goals, or I guess maybe intentions, with you. My number one intention for the year, I realized as I was scrolling, is to be seen trying. I feel like that is what this whole conversation boils down to. My pre-existing fear of failure has gotten worse, but my fear of failing publicly has gotten so bad. I have this bad habit of starting a challenge, whether it's my Reignite series, getting back into health and fitness, losing weight or something. I'll start the challenge, I'll document the beginning, and then I'll get to the middle part where I realize I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then I'm like, I can't post this video. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then sometimes I'll circle back at the end and share my learnings once everything's like all nice and buttoned up. I really struggle to share the unpolished stuff with you guys, but every time I do, I am reminded of how much I love connecting with you guys. There is no such thing as a new experience on this earth, okay? Like every time I think I'm the only one feeling the way I am, I get the most amazing comments from all of you saying that you are experiencing the same thing or you have in the past. So in the spirit of that, I have decided to actually share my goals with you guys, which I have not done for what feels like a long time because I was so sick of sharing my goals and then failing at them. Exhibit A is that I shared last year that I wanted to do a Hyrox in 2025. Not only did I not do a Hyrox, I didn't even train for a Hyrox. But yeah, I have decided if I share these goals with you guys and I completely fail at them, that's okay. I will survive and it'll be like exposure therapy for me and it'll be great. And I have decided this is officially day one of like wins only. I am going to just set myself up for so many wins and so many successes by lowering the bar so low, it's like an inch off the floor, barely. My first goal is to read 10 books between January 1st and my birthday, which is March 5th for inquiring minds, so basically the start of Q2. And this is a great goal for me because I've already read 5 books so far. I got a Kindle for Christmas, I have a library card, and it's been a really great replacement for a lot of my doom scrolling time that I normally have. My next goal is to run a 10-minute mile, and this is a great goal because the other day I ran a 10:30 mile, so I feel like this is very much within reach. I am a bad runner. I'm a slow runner. I would eventually like to do a Hyrox at some point in my life. I'm not going to even say it's a target for 2026, but I know that in order to make that goal even a possibility, I need to lay the foundation with my running, starting with really, really small baby steps. And my third goal is actually not for this quarter, but just for this whole year. It is to stamp my passport. Yeah, I will keep you posted on that. Before we move on to the next portion of the reset, I wanted to show you my Pinterest board really quickly. I normally wouldn't share something like this, but here we go. There were a lot of things I saw as I was scrolling that were exciting and interesting to me, but I just didn't feel like I could do right now, but that I wanted to try and do someday. So rather than putting those things on my vision board that felt out of reach, that would kind of create more of those failure cycles potentially, I put them on a later section. For the main section of the Pinterest board, I broke every single rule I had about vision boarding, and I literally just pinned purely based on the vibes. A lot of these have nothing to do with anything. I just like the way that they look, how they make me feel. I've got some memes on there. I have random inspirational quotes, photos with good vibes that are kind of meaningless, and I love it. Next thing I'm gonna do is a quick journaling brain dump. My goal for this is to just kind of let go of and release anything that I feel like I've carried with me into the new year that I want to leave in the past. Habits I wasn't able to keep, targets I set that I didn't hit, failures, and I think it'll be really cathartic to just write it all out. Although it would be very sexy to do this with a pen and paper journal, I'm just gonna do it in Notion because I type much faster than I write by hand, and this is one of those scenarios where I just really want to get this done, get this out of my system, and move on. So okay, so I just finished my journaling sesh, and the moral of the story is that this past year was really hard for me. I feel like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to be positive and be grateful and find things that went well and focus on the good. The energy was like, your life is good, you should be grateful. Why aren't you happy about it? So I feel like this reflection was very cathartic because I just wrote about how I actually felt and everything that happened in the year, all my failures and my losses, and I'm never gonna show this to anyone, so I just had no filter. I really went for it, and I feel so much lighter than I did a half hour ago. If you've been feeling similarly, I really do recommend giving it a try. I know it's one of those things where even I will think about journaling and I'm like, it sounds so simple, how can that really do anything? But it did help me a lot this afternoon. So my boyfriend is downstairs cooking our weekly meal prep, so that is amazing. And my job, of course, once he's done, is to do the dishes and clean up. And I think I'm also gonna do a little kitchen reset, so nowhere near the full New Year's resets I've been seeing people doing with like the closet clean out and like scrubbing the baseboards and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but I do think I'll feel a lot lighter and fresher going into the week, having a clean space. And I think it's the perfect final step to close out our pretending today is New Year's routine. have the darkest under eye circles you've probably ever seen in your life. So, and you know what? I am gonna change into something that's not white because we had curry for dinner and I feel like that is a recipe for disaster. Okay. I don't know why I thought white gloves was ever a good idea, but these look so disgusting now, and they're only like a week old, so they're not gonna look better after washing these curry dishes, that's for sure. When I started this vlog and I wrote out my little plan, I was not convinced that it would actually help. It all just seemed too simple to actually do anything. I am very happy to report that I was wrong. The journaling and the Pinterest board and the cute iced latte didn't change the fact that 2025 kinda sucked. And accepting that was one of the things that made me feel so much better and so much lighter, honestly. But I am finally feeling excited and hopeful about this year. And I hope you know that for every person out there sharing their successes, there's an equal or perhaps larger number of us who are still in the trenches, myself included. Thank you so much for joining me on this winding road today. I am so excited to take you along for the ride this year and see where the year takes us. I hope it's somewhere good.